Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Hopefully you watched my previous videos, so it'll kind of explain what I'm doing. The Lego.com has brought out or bringing out a load of new sets, and I'm trying to find some sets that will complement those sets so that when you try to sell them you can either bundle them up, or when the set that is new out now retires in the end of 2026 or 27 or whatever it is, when that one retires, the sets that I'm telling you now that hopefully will go with them or complement them, you've bought it already and you've got it stored away and it's increasing in value. So then basically when the new sets retire, people are going to want the other one that I'm going to tell you now, and then you can either bundle them together or find a way to do it so that you can increase the sales of the other one that you've already got. Right, so I left off before just starting the Harry Potter ones. So like I say, I'm just working my way through the 195 new ones that are coming out. I know every day the 195 increases because there's new ones coming out every few days. There seems to be a video of like new sets coming out, new sets coming out, new sets coming out, you know, July, August, October, all kind of thing. So I know that 195 won't stay at that, but you know, you don't have to comment and say there's more than 195. I know. Right, so like I say, the first one is 76452, the Quidditch Supplies and Ice Cream Parlour, $89.99. Now obviously the one that's going to complement that one, actually there'll be a couple, but the one I've done is 76439, the Ollivanders and Madame Milkins robes. That one came out in June 2024. That was £80 to buy, but at the moment it's only worth around 64. But that's got a 14% expected retirement pop, and also an expected good investment. On Amazon it's being sold for up to £106. On eBay it's sold for £68, and Bricklink has valued it around £69. Now the figures are worth around £28, and it's sold 2,362 sets. Next one is 76458, the Thestral family, $59.99. Now the one that I put to complement that one, I thought you could do like a diorama or sort of like that sort of thing if you were going to do that sort of thing. 76432, the Forbidden Forest magical creatures. Now that one retired in November 2024, so if you've already got it, then it might be an idea to put it away, and then when the Thestral family does retire, the people who buy that when it retires might want to get the other one that I'm telling you now, the Forbidden Forest, so that they can, like I say, make a little diorama. So that was £25 to buy. Now, or at the moment, it's worth around £24. On Amazon, it's being for sale for up to £37. On eBay, it's sold for £28. And on Bricklink is valued at £23. Now this one's classed as a good investment, and the figures are worth around £3. It's sold 3,629 sets. Next one is 10360, the Shuttle Carrier Aircraft, $199.99. Now the one that I've put that'll complement that one is 10341, the Artemis Space Launch System. And that one came out in May 2024. That was £220 to buy, and at the moment it's worth around £205. Now that's got an expected retirement pop of 12%, and also an expected good investment. If you go on Amazon, it's being sold for up to £220. On eBay it's sold for £212, and on Bricklink they value it around £213. And it's sold 3,700 sets. The next one is 76970. I'm not sure how to pronounce this, but it's Dolores Aquilops, $19.99. There's two ones that will complement these ones. Obviously you know what those are. 76962, the Bumpy Ankylosaurus. That one came out in June 2024. It was £20 to buy, and at the moment it's worth around 17. That's got an expected retirement pop of 6%. On Amazon it's being sold for up to £41. On eBay it's sold for £24, and Bricklink has valued it at £18. And it's sold 1,080 sets. And the other one that'll go with that one is 76967, the little ET Rex 1999. That one just came out January 2025. It was £20 to buy, and at the moment it's worth around £20. But that one's got an expected retirement pop of 12%. Now on Amazon that's being sold for up to £41 as well, and on eBay it's sold for £22. Bricklink valued it at £18 as well, but it's sold 362 sets. The next one is 71845, which is Lloyd's Jet Mech 89.99. Now the one I put to go with that one is 71821, Cole's Titan Dragon Mech. Now that one came out in June 2024. That was £90 to buy. At the moment it's worth around £85. Now that's got an expected retirement pop of 12% and also an expected good investment. On Amazon it's being sold for up to £186. On eBay it's sold for £79, and on Bricklink it's valued at £77. Now that's only got one figure, but the one figure on its own is worth around £26, and that one sold 1,081 sets. Next one is 71843, which is the Rogue Mech Dragon Rider 59.99. Now the one that I've put to complement that one is 71812, Kai Ninja Climber Mech. That one came out in March 2024. That was £60 to buy, and at the moment it's worth around £60. Now that's got an expected retirement pop of 12% as well. On Amazon it's being sold for up to £82. On eBay it's sold for £53, and Bricklink is valued at £77. And the figures are worth around £21. And that's sold 544 sets. Next one is 71844, the Ninja Combat Vehicle 79.99. Now the one I've put to complement that one is 71820, the Ninja Team Combo Vehicle. That one came out in June 2024. That was £80 to buy. At the moment it's worth around £63. And that's also got a 12% expected retirement pop. And on Amazon it's being sold for up to £102. On eBay it's sold for £61, and on Bricklink it's valued at £62. The figures are worth around £37, and that one sold 426 sets. Next one is 71842, the Ron 2 the Master Dragon 39.99. The one that I've put to complement that one is 71809, the Egalt the Master Dragon. That one came out in January 2024. That was £60 to buy. At the moment it's worth around £55. That one's also got a 12% expected retirement pop, and also an expected good investment. On Amazon it's being sold for up to £98, and on eBay it's sold for £60. Bricklink is valued at £48, and the figures are valued at around £21. And that one sold 977 sets. Now obviously the ones that I'm putting as to complement them, you don't have to take that as, you know, that's the one that's going to go with it. You could, if you think that a different set will go with it, you know, put it in the comments and things like that, you know. Maybe it will help the community. I mean, that's the whole reason for doing these videos, is to help the community kind of make it so that they'll get more out of their sets, you know, instead of doing what everybody used to do and, you know, buy a set, keep it for 18 months and sell it, because now the whole thing has changed, you know. So you have to kind of think out of the box or try and do something different, which is why I'm trying to do this, so that you can help the community by giving you an idea of, you know, if you keep hold of that one a little bit longer, when this other one retires, they'll go together hopefully, and you'll make more money. So next one is 71838, the Kai Motorcycle Speed Race 8.99. The one that I put to complement that one is 71816, Zane's Ice Motorcycle. Now that one came out in August 2024. That was £9, and at the moment it's worth around £9. But that's got an 11% expected retirement pop. On Amazon it's being sold for up to £21, and on eBay it's sold for £14. And Bricklink is valued at around £8. The figure's worth around £5. And it sold 961 sets. There again, it's the small set syndrome, or what I call the small set syndrome. Next one is 71839, the Arin's Spinjitzu Battle Mech 17.99. Now the one I've put to complement that one is 71806 Cole's Elemental Battle Mech. That one came out in January 2024. It was £18 to buy. At the moment it's worth around 15, and that's got a 12% expected retirement pop. On Amazon it's being sold for up to £29. On eBay it's sold for £18, and on Bricklink it's valued at £16. The figure's worth around £5, and it's sold 1,627 sets. Next one is 71847 The Guardian Dragon, £139.99. Now the one that I put to complement that one is 71822 The Source Dragon of Motion. Now that one came out in August 2024. That was £130 to buy, but at the moment it's worth around £127. Now that's got an expected retirement pop of 11%, but also an expected good investment. On Amazon it's being sold for up to £220. On eBay it's sold for £114, and on Bricklink is valued at £115. Now the figures are worth around £36, and it's sold 949 sets. Now on to Star Wars. Next one is 75400 The Plo Koon's Jedi Starfighter. I don't know if I pronounced that right. But anyway, $12.99. So the one that I put to complement that one is probably a bit controversial. 75391 Captain Rex Y-Wing. That one came out June 2024. It was £12 to buy, and at the moment it's worth around 11. Now that's got an expected retirement pop of 13%, but also an expected good investment. On Amazon it's being sold for up to £25, and on eBay it's sold for £16.50. Bricklink is valued at around £11.50. The figure is worth around £5, and it's sold 28,504 sets. And the next one, and the last one for this video, is 75411 The Darth Maul Mech, $12.99. The one that I've put to complement that one is 75390 The Luke Skywalker X-Wing Mech. That one came out in June 2024. It was £13 to buy. Now it's worth around £11. That's got an expected retirement pop of 12%, with an expected good investment. Now on Amazon it's being sold for up to £19. On eBay it's sold for £17, so it's already making a profit. And Bricklink it's valued at around £13. The figure's worth around £4, and it's sold 5,534 sets. So my next video will just continue on from as I'm working my way through the 195 sets. So it'll be there for the rest of the Star Wars on that one. So please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.